Hello and welcome to Speak Free with MattyG, episode 48. We are joined here today by two very special guests. We've got a TikTok power couple in the studio. We've got Matt and Madeline Everingham. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you about that.
Welcome
Thank you
to
so
the
much.
Speak Free studio, to 2-7 Project. Now, obviously, we talked about you guys coming in quite a long time ago now. I met you guys on a harbour cruise in, when was it? Like
I think it was
September last year?
year.
Yeah. I remember it was the
like
day
that.
before UFC Sydney because I was going to that and I was
That's
fucking
right.
keen as.
Yeah.
And then I got a bit of extra money to spend there because I got paid for the fucking photography gig.
Nice.
And got to sink free pierce on the boat in the harbour on a beautiful day.
It was.
It was
a beautiful
such a
day.
nice
That was
day.
such a good day.
Such
I
a good
loved
day.
that.
But obviously, you guys, well, especially you, Madeline, you're very well known. You got over 100,000 followers on TikTok now,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I do.
You hit that number when? This year?
No,
Sometime,
it was actually last year. The
Last year.
algorithm has like completely, can I swear?
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
It's like completely fucked it at the moment. Like it's gross. But it was about last year and it's been kind of slow growth from there a little bit. But it's just a matter of consistency. I
Yeah.
guess, too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. It does come down to consistency with TikTok, you know, because
The algorithm is so weird.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can never, people try and like talk about it and stuff, and I try and get on top of it and just doesn't fucking work.
yeah, I feel like it's kind of random too. I had
Oh,
Nick,
it's so random.
yeah, I had Nick Stab come in and he had some pointers like to try and like grow your videos and that. And I believe, like, I think a lot of the things he's doing does work clearly for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like a lot of it's randomized as well.
Absolutely.
100%.
And if it works for you and you've got that like algorithm that works for you,
Yeah.
sometimes it's to do with your audience. It's a whole number of things. But if I try and do the same thing as what he does, like it might not work for me.
Yeah.
And it's just like
Yeah.
stuffed.
And has it been banned in TikTok now? Has it been banned in America now? Sorry, TikTok.
They've passed the bill, but apparently it
I
could
think they're
take
fighting back.
years for it to actually go
Yeah.
ahead.
Because that would cut out like fucking 300 million people, potential people. I don't know.
literally.
Like everyone's on TikTok
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
it's cutting out a huge market of
Yeah,
people for like
100%.
for everyone. You
But
know?
like cutting, I saw this thing and they're like cutting TikTok, but when it comes to their gun laws, they're
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Guns
Yeah.
are sweet. TikTok's
That's
fine.
fine.
Children dying in schools, fucking
Yeah.
tick.
Nah.
Literally.
Keep that.
I'm just like, are you for real? Like,
people
they're so
dancing-
backwards. I
People
feel like they're
dancing
so
on
backwards.
TikTok.
Literally.
Ban it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ban it.
Get rid of it now.
Fucking ban it now.
It's like, it's more than that though. Like, it's like so many people's jobs and like
100%.
their life.
And they say it's all about like China and whatnot, which, you know, China obviously is a threat to some extent. But, you know, I don't think they're fucking going to do much with TikTok.
Nah.
No.
You know, let's worry about like their nuclear weapons instead or something.
100%.
100%.
But when did you start TikTok?
I think I started in 2020. It was,
Like during COVID times or?
I think, the beginning. I was like in year 12 and it was like starting to go into into lockdown.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, like I was taking the piss out of my friends for like ages. I was like, no, I'm never going to like download it. Like I'm never going to have it. And then I was just like, fuck it. Like, what am I, why am I trying to be different? Like,
Yeah.
let's just fucking download it. Anyway, I posted a video and it kind of went really well. Like if you search my name, sometimes it's the first one that comes up. And
Oh,
it's
really?
me in my school uniform, like in my senior uniform. And I was like, what, fresh 18 or something? But it kind of just went from there. I think my first deal was with Woody. Like my first paid collab was
Yeah.
with Woody.
That's huge.
And I was really happy with that. I think
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
like
exciting.
only $300 or something like that. But I was like, absolutely, like I could see myself doing this. And I never had anything against the social media world in the first place. Like I always wanted to get into it. So I'm just like, look, it's another platform. Let's just get onto it.
Yeah.
And it kind of just went from there. I was kind of taking the piss to begin with, and it kind of just like
And it's turned into...
snowballed into a great thing. Like,
And a
I love it.
career.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's the thing I think a lot of the older generation really can't understand is that this is an actual career.
Absolutely.
Even podcasting and that.
Yeah.
Like my mum and dad are like, I don't want to talk shit about my mum and dad, but like I don't think they've ever watched a podcast of mine, which is fine. It's not like they're watching other podcasts and not watching mine. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? They just don't watch podcasts. And to them, it's like, oh, I can't see, like, I don't know why you spend all your money on
Yeah.
doing this and whatnot. And it's like, because I fucking believe in myself. And
Good.
it is an actual career now.
Absolutely.
Like podcasting, influencing, like, I hate using the term influencer. I just think
You and I both.
Yeah.
Don't even worry.
There's, like-
it's like my job,
Yeah.
but that's what it is.
That's
like
what it
I
is.
can't just
Yeah.
be like, no, I'm not an influencer. Like that.
Yeah, that's what
it is
you
what
do.
it is.
Yeah.
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 And if anything, you need to like own it and be proud of it. Because I'm like, look, I'm so lucky to be doing what I'm doing. Like, yes, there's stereotypes around it, but as long as I'm a good person at the end of the day and just treating everyone nicely, like to myself, I don't fit in that like category or stereotype.
Yeah.
I just be a good fucking person. Like it's not that hard.
Well, exactly. And that's what I was going to ask you about too, because obviously like you get invited to a lot of different events and stuff for different companies. And what is the influencer crowd actually like?
So
The stereotypes that exist is probably
Yeah.
like stuck up, self-entitled, divas,
absolutely, yeah.
Which they can be.
self-obsessed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
cunts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But that does exist.
yeah,
It does.
And but is any of that true?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like-
100%.
I'm not going to say that it's like completely common because it's weird. All the OG creators, a lot of them are just so beautiful and the most welcoming. It's like people that are in the same position as me or like a little bit higher or something that can be really rude. And I'm not saying this for everyone. Like there's a selective few. And I think that's why there's such a stereotype around it because it doesn't take that many people to actually get that stereotype.
Exactly.
Like, of course, you're going to remember the bad
Yes.
people and the bad attitudes more than like the good.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. And it depends on the brand as well, like what the brand wants. So all the White Fox parties, beautiful. Have the best
Yeah,
time.
it's
Like
mad.
you can make friends with anyone. Like
Yeah, that's good.
we
I
always
go
look
without
forward
really
to them.
knowing anyone.
No, we'll end up separating
Yeah.
throughout the night, and I'll be with my girlfriends or like hanging out with my people, and
Yeah.
Matt will be hanging out with his mates that he's met at the White Fox events, and it's
Yeah.
just like we'll come back at the end of the night, and it's like we'll debrief,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's really fun. But there was an event that I went to like a couple of weeks ago. I'm not going to say
Which company in that?
which
Yeah.
one it was, but imposter syndrome. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
You had?
Yes.
Because
And-
of the people that were there?
Yes.
Or you felt
Just the certain girls that were there. Like I kind of turned up. I was a little bit late and I felt so bad already. Because I obviously don't drive. So I was catching a train.
you
all
not
that
drive?
fucks up. No, I don't drive.
you never learned?
No. Like
did you ever
I
get
don't
your
even have
Ls?
my L's.
You never got your
I
L's?
never got my L's.
Really?
I've tried for it, but I like second guessed it. But that's a whole other story in itself.
Fuck, so if Maddie ever pissed you off, you couldn't even drive away.
No.
You'd have to send that kind of way.
No, I have to.
Get
I
out
have
of
to
here.
go into
Go.
another room in the house. Go for a walk up to
Yeah.
Coles or something. But yeah, at this event, all the girls kind of just like glared at me when I got in there, and it might have been me in my own head because obviously you have your good days and your bad days, but
Yeah.
I count myself to be pretty confident.
Yeah.
So when I walked in there,
And I
it
feel
was
like you
just
do notice when an energy is
Yeah.
off, you fucking notice, right?
100%.
Absolutely. And
think
I
you
was
do.
just like, I'm not fucking welcomed here. Like, I'm not welcome here at all. And
Yeah.
I want to go. Like, I just wanted to crawl. Like, I wanted to just, I don't know. Even thinking about it is just making me so uncomfortable.
Really?
And
It
I
was
just
one of
wanted
those
to get out
events.
of there. Like,
Yeah, it was one of those events that you're like, fuck, I can't wait for this to finish.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And at the end, like, everyone was talking and I was like trying to include myself in the conversation. I could have just like done the event and then left and gas bombed it. But I was like, oh, let's network, let's talk to people, let's meet more girls, like whatever. They didn't want to bar with me. And I was like, I'm fucking leaving. Like, I can't do this. I can't just like play happy Madeline. Like, I need to get out of here. So yeah, it's just shit like that where that's the small amount of people that I feel would be like
And they sort of ruin it.
stereotype.
Yep.
And they might be really lovely people, but I didn't feel welcome to like talk to them or it's very weird. It can
Yeah.
be very, very weird.
And how do you feel at events like this, Maddie? Obviously, you're not influencing on the same level as your wife is,
Yeah.
but you're in that world as well. And
Yeah.
do you ever feel out of place, or do you feel like a tag along ever, like, or have you found like your own sort of groove in going to these events?
Yeah,
now?
100%. Like, I don't feel like I'm a tag along or anything. Like, I just kind of go and just have a good time and just
I
meet
mean, you should-
and I'm just there. I'm like, why should I feel uncomfortable? Like, these are all just people at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, I
That's
just go
true.
and have a good time, and haven't really had a bad experience yet. But
Yeah.
yeah, no.
And I mean, you would be networking there too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
I mean, you're a good-looking motherfucker.
I
Should be modeling.
yeah, I know like the opportunities that are there, and like I do network to people that not just to like tag off them, but like
Just to make friends in
Yeah,
the industry.
exactly.
Just to like, even if
always
it
helps.
isn't to do with like networking, just making a friendship. And
Well, true.
Yeah.
you can do whatever
the
with
thing
that.
is,
Yeah.
well, exactly. Like, obviously, it's important to have people you can trust in these industries and that.
100%.
But also, is that the thing with networking is if it's not like you're doing it to get something right there and then. It's just to say, hey, I'm me. Nice
Yeah.
to meet you. And then in the future, you never know. Like, you might cross paths again. They have something
Absolutely.
going. Like,
Yeah. Like
especially in this sort of any sort of like creative or influencer sort of industry, it's like it's very important to know a lot of people
100%.
and to hold like positive relationships with people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Because you never know when you're gonna fucking need them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely,
I
but-
have met like quite a few quite large people that I'm friends with now, whether I'll ever use that for anything at all. But it's just like, it's just nice having those connections. And all
Yeah,
that
like it's
stuff.
not
So,
even using it as
No.
such. It's just like having those
Yeah, it's
friends.
just
Like
nice.
it's just really beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's an easier way to make friends in your 20s
Yeah,
because that can be
100%.
really fucking hard too.
It can be.
It
So
can be.
it
Yeah.
makes it a lot
It can be hard.
easier and a nicer experience. And
100%.
I do love
And you're
events
meeting
as a whole.
like-minded people.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes,
the
for the
thing.
most part.
Absolutely.
You know, some people might be in it for the wrong reasons, but
Yeah.
you know, these are people who are doing the same sort of thing as you, and they have the same sort of experiences as you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was talking about it with I forget who it was. Maybe it was Kat or maybe it was Nick. I forget, or even Caitlin. Fuck, one of my episodes. Anyway,
One of them.
and I was talking about how like when creative people like link up, it's like it's a sort of a different level of friendship because you all, no matter what sort of level you're on, whether you've got a podcast with 500 followers and you're putting shit out on TikTok, or you've got a TikTok account with 300,000 followers, you're still copying the same sort of like negativity, obviously to a lesser extent or a greater extent. But like you'll cop that, you'll go through that. It's all about like self-belief and drive and being consistent. And these are all things you can like relate to each other on. And I think it's when people don't do that, or they're or they're on the other side, they're a hater because they don't, they're too scared to go after something in life.
Yeah.
It might not be that they want to do that, but they haven't taken a risk, right? And put themselves out there to cop that. They'd rather like be in their shell. I think those people can never understand why someone would want to put themselves out there. And that's why I think it leads to like negative comments and that.
Absolutely,
Because people
yeah.
just don't understand.
No.
Yeah.
And it makes them uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah.
Knowing that other people are so willing to put ourselves out there and
But to be fair, like I haven't even really had many haters.
Really?
Like in my comments.
you've
Like there'll
been
be
pretty
the odd
good.
few. But I feel like I've been very lucky and very blessed
Yeah,
to that
100%.
extent to just
Fuck, I've
not
got
really
some
get too much.
Can't say.
yeah.
Some people
Really?
said some mean shit.
so
yeah,
weird.
it's so gross.
Although,
so
you know
weird.
what's funny?
They
is
go
the
out of
other
their way
day-
as well.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I
Get
know.
a life. Go
Get a life.
Don't like go touch grass.
Yeah.
Roll in some
Yeah.
fucking mud.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you right now. Like get off your phone.
Yeah.
I know.
Literally.
It's so crazy to me because I've never just scrolled past a video and been like, yep, hateful comment, fucking need to write that.
Yeah. I
Like,
know.
get a life, cunt, you know?
Absolutely.
But I had this, I put a video up recently on, it was just like a short thing on COVID and restrictions and mandates and blah, 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 blah. Me
that-
against it,
That
clearly.
gets the people going. COVID.
Huh?
COVID gets the people going.
Oh,
That's
it
for sure.
does, especially this one fucking woman. Anyway, but we're like fucking back and forth on TikTok, and I'm like, bro, I don't have time. I'm at work. I'm like, podcast ain't paying the bills yet.
Nah.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
at my full time job.
Yeah.
Fuck me, leave me alone, bro.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I ended up like. She wouldn't stop. It was just like continually going. So I'm like, fuck, bro. I'm just gonna delete her thread. Like I can't
Yeah.
be fucking asked.
Yeah.
I was commenting back at her like for a while, like probably half an hour or so.
Yeah.
Then she found me on Instagram, like my
Oh,
podcast thing,
she
and messaged me.
didn't.
But I must say, we end up actually having a good conversation.
Okay.
Because you know how TikTok has a really short character limit in
Yeah.
comments?
Yeah.
You can't have a fucking conversation like that.
Nah, it's
No.
annoying.
So that's why, like, and she was like, oh, you deleted me. That's not very speak free. I'm like, it's not very speak free to have a fucking debate on a comment thread on TikTok. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a real conversation. It's
Yeah.
fucking, you can write like this much and then it would be like character limit exceed. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck,
Yeah.
bro, I can't even say
It's
what I want to
annoying.
say.
Yeah.
100%.
So then when we could actually write like a long message in Instagram. We actually found common ground, and then it was like, okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So that's why from now
I'm
on,
surprised you even like concluded it.
because I was like, I don't want
respect.
her. Like, I do want to like. The whole point of this podcast is to like have open dialogue, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, it would be a bit hypocritical if I don't fucking
Yeah.
talk
Just
to
hear
her.
her
Yeah.
out or
Yeah.
yeah.
And she had some good points, and I don't think she could see my good points either. And I don't think she sees the real reality of what's going on in the world, or my view of it at least.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But we came to common ground.
That's good.
But yeah, but people who just write nasty shit,
It's
like
just weird.
it's just
so
like
gross.
she wasn't too nasty,
Yeah.
a little bit nasty. I was like, come on,
Yeah.
I sound like Donald
Calm
Trump,
down.
nasty
Yeah.
woman. But some people write horrendous shit, like. But it's funny to me.
It is.
Yeah.
It's actually funny to me
hilarious.
because I'm like,
But-
you're a sad cunt.
100%. But I think it's just like, I feel it, like I get more hurt when it's from people that I know and that people like that I know me.
Yeah.
Like being friends with someone and knowing that someone might be like talking behind your back instead of like a random online. Like if I
True.
see a stranger, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like,
That's true. I've actually
Never think about it again.
I've had this discussion with my best mate as well,
Mm.
and about like it is a level. It's a different level of hurt. Like
It's
you can,
betrayal.
yeah,
It's
you,
literally like betrayal.
you can get over a random cunt you don't know on TikTok
100%.
very easily.
Yeah.
Well, most people can. Some people can't.
Mm.
You know, especially if it's a barrage of like hate.
Mm.
But when someone is like sneakily like resharing your post or something, or talking
sending
shit,
it to someone
Absolutely.
else.
yeah, you're
I
like,
had a girl that I knew, like this is probably outing it or exposing.
Sorry.
But I literally had a girl that I knew and she made a TikTok of me. Like I thought we were friends and everything. Like I was friends with these two girls. They literally made a video and uploaded it. And it was one of those like trends where it was like, oh, a couple we think should break up. And then flashed it. They didn't cover it properly. It was a photo of Matt and
Photo
I.
of
And it was
us.
like, I was like, are you serious? Like I thought we were friends. Like
what
this is
cunts?
so
Yeah.
this is so gross. I was like, grow the fuck up. Like that's really embarrassing.
Mm.
So I was just like, oh, but that was another like thinking that we were friends. That was like another thing of like, oh, like fuck, like I thought we were good. Like that's really sad. It's really disappointing because I thought we were friends.
yeah.
So
And you know what? People like that, they'll soon realize that they have zero loyalty in their life because they've given no loyalty to anyone else.
100%.
And yeah, fuck those cunts.
Fuck them.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck them bitches.
absolutely.
Should we say their names? No, we
Nah.
I mean,
But Maddie, obviously, you also got a roofing business.
Yes.
Hard worker, mate. Hard worker. So do you want to do that forever?
Nah, definitely not.
Is
Like,
this more the goal?
Yeah, I would say so now.
Yeah, like
I-
influencing is more the goal?
Like
Yeah.
I don't do too much of it. Sometimes it's like, oh, I can't be fucked taking photos. Like I'm not
it's
as
usually me that's
confident as
pushing it,
Madeline.
but I know that he's so much happier when he knows that he's gotten the
Yeah.
content.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm doing you a
So
favor.
you love the result. You
I
sort of
love
hate
the result.
process.
Hate the process.
Yeah.
That's right. 100%. Yeah, definitely don't want to be a roofer for the rest of my life. I
Yeah,
gave
especially in
myself
summer. Fuck
oh,
that.
I gave myself a goal when I was younger to be out of it by the time I'm 30, but I'm thinking way sooner now.
Really?
Like way sooner. Like
Do you still
I'm
want to
just-
have the business and have someone else run
I
it for you, or
possibly like there is options, and I haven't cracked it
because
yet.
your work is really good?
Yeah, like
Give yourself a plug. May as well.
Evolution Roofing Specialist. Look me up on TikTok. It's actually going off
it's
at the
actually
moment.
popping.
And
the fuck
actually,
off.
yeah. And if you're into like seeing things go from like dirty to clean,
Yeah,
like the, what do they call it? Like satisfying videos.
Satisfying videos.
Yeah.
that's kind of all
Like,
my TikTok is.
If you get horny over that, mate, you're about to blow a load over these ones.
100%, 100%. But no,
I've
I
even had my girlfriends being like, it's so good. Like, I actually love watching them. And I'm like, same, girl. Like, same.
I think it's like seeing a form of like an accomplishment. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
it is. It's just satisfying.
it
to
is,
see.
it is. But yeah, definitely. If I have the opportunity to do what Madeline's doing like full time, like I'm definitely gonna do that because I'm just sick of
And
being
have fun.
physically. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Like, do you have so much fun?
It's fun. Yeah.
Yes.
And you wake up at what time?
Whenever she wants.
Like 10 a.m. It's so
And that's an
good.
early morning for you, right?
No,
10?
like an early morning will be like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I've been doing Pilates, so it's been a
Yes.
little bit earlier.
Yeah.
But that's like the only thing because I don't drive. It's another thing to get me out of the house in the morning.
True.
So I'm just like, okay, like if I go to Pilates and then I set up my day and I can do the rest of my work, like because full-time social media for me is so new.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, where do I find my balance? What's my routine? Like I'm still figuring that
And
out.
how many hours a day would you commit to putting out content?
It depends on what I'm looking at doing. Like some weeks are quieter than others, but at the moment it's been a bit more like busier. So I would say like maybe like 3-4 hours. It depends. Sometimes it'll be a lot longer. Like that's just filming alone.
Yeah.
And like
And then you got to
getting
plan.
ready and all of that.
Yeah.
Like it's the editing that's the
edit.
time consuming thing. Like I love editing,
Yeah.
but it is so time consuming. So I'll only think of like, oh, it'll take like 2 hours to film, blah, blah, blah. But then it'll take me like 5 hours to edit like 4 videos or something. And it's just like,
And do you ever do like 2 days of like heaps of content and then just like take a day off because
Yes.
you schedule everything? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And like it used to be during my weekends and stuff, but now it's like I can work sometimes like Monday to Friday and then have my weekends off with Matt.
Yeah.
So I'll smash it out maybe at the beginning of the week or like and then I'll have the rest of the week off, or it depends, like because it is so flexible, might do a content day with my girlfriend Tuesday or something like that, and then it's just like we'll smash it out together and like edit all my stuff and edit together on the lounge. Like it's so nice. Like it's
Yeah.
really beautiful. So yeah, it's very flexible. Like every day is different. Like yeah, it just depends on what my focus is for the content as well.
Yeah.
Like if I need to go out and get pictures with a coffee in hand and like in a little activewear set or some shit, like
Yeah.
that'll take like 2 seconds. But it's like an excuse to go out for brekkie.
True.
Like
True.
so it's yeah.
Yeah, you can work it in and around like your own
life.
personal life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's
Kill
fun
2
about
birds with
it.
one stone.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what sort of brand, like what are some of the biggest brands you've worked with?
Oh,
Or something that, or the brands that you loved working with the most?
Bitey. I love Bitey. She's a swimwear brand based in Australia.
Yeah, awesome.
Desi, the owner, she's so beautiful. Like I actually
Sydney
love her.
based? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, mad.
But she's popping off at the moment. She had so many girls at Coachella wearing her stuff, and I'm just like so proud of them, like as a brand.
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
huge.
like she's been up and coming as well, but like I was a fan before I worked with them, and it's not even paid stuff. Like it's just kind of PR or gifted or whatever like that. But it's still just like such a blessing to work with them. I would say White Fox as well is one of my favorite brands.
Yeah.
Like they're so good.
And lots of parties and events, hey?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah,
makes
they know how to throw a party.
That
that's
makes
for
it
sure.
fucking worth it.
Yeah.
Weren't they in the shit just recently?
They
Yeah,
have been.
They
For, like,
have been.
Didn't they cancel their Boxing Day sales or something? Because
Yeah,
of their
something
like
Black
that.
Friday sales were like
Yeah.
crazy.
They're just,
But that's a
they're
good
crazy
they're just
big.
too
That's
big.
a
Yeah.
good problem to have.
It is.
They're
It
huge.
is.
Like
Yeah.
they have people from all over
And I
the
saw
world
their response to
ordering.
it too. They were getting a lot of hate, and I saw their
Yeah.
response to it. They're like, "Hey, look, we're just gonna be honest. We're fucking new to this amount of fucking people wanting our shit. Like basically,
Yeah. 100%.
like let us learn how to be better."
Yeah.
And it was
exactly.
like, okay, that's all right. Like,
No, I love
100%.
Georgia and her husband. Like they do such a good job. And they're
so it's a couple that
killing
own it, is
Yes.
it? Yeah, awesome.
And they got married like a couple years ago or something like that.
There's a few couples in the fashion
Yeah.
game that
They're
are doing
doing
it,
so
like
good.
Culture
Yeah.
Kings as well.
Culture Kings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a couple, right? That
I
started
think
that.
so.
I think so.
Is
Yeah,
it?
I think so.
Is it Outcast as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lawrence and Paz.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing so good.
Yeah.
They're popping off too.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's all Australian. Hey,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
We're
Yeah.
like as a country, like in
We're
all
doing
of those
alright.
like clothing companies and stuff, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To be fair, like I'm proud of all of them.
Yeah.
yeah, because I definitely saw with White Fox is like so many international people like are all over it as well. So that's fucking massive.
Yeah, they've got stars
Yeah.
wearing their stuff. That's
and
for sure.
yeah, and when
They
did
had Madison Beer at one of their parties, and I was like, "Oh my god, there's no way I'm not in LA like partying with her right now." Like,
And
that's-
you're going to New York to see her,
I
right?
am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
so
When's that coming
excited.
up?
That's at like 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
So
Yeah.
by the time this comes out, we would have already
We'll
seen
had
her.
already been there. Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I'm very excited.
Crazy.
And how long are you going for?
Just a week.
Just a week.
Yeah.
Just a week.
Yeah, and just spent in New York.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just dip
Mad.
our toes in it.
You know what? That's the perfect amount of time for New York.
Mm.
Like you'll be able to do
100%.
so much in the city in that time.
100%.
Go
Absolutely.
see comedy.
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah?
to. I would love to.
100%. It's the best comedy fucking city in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to.
100%.
I want to see like
Yeah.
some stage
Go
shows
to
and stuff.
Comedy Cellar and you'll
Mad.
you'll have a great time. And
Yeah, man.
and you get like it's crazy at like some of their comedy clubs, like big fucking names just walk in and just
Yeah.
a surprise set.
That's
like Dave
mad.
Chappelle's always doing surprise sets in New York.
That's
And
it.
shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, mad. But yeah, you'll have a good time. You'll have a great
Yeah, I'm
time.
very, very keen.
Keen
Yeah.
as.
Smash out some content.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get some amazing photos.
Yeah.
Great
100%.
time to
So
go too.
excited.
It's
Yeah,
their,
like
their summer.
warming
so-
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be hot.
You reckon?
Really?
Yeah, New York's pretty hot in summer. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I'm
I
keen.
think, yeah, same.
Whatever.
I mean, we're from
Whatever.
Australia, but
Yeah.
So-
yeah, I think it'll be like
hot to us
Is not much.
is like burning in a fucking furnace.
45
that's true.
degrees.
Like I think it's gonna
and
be
all that
like
stuff.
high 20-ish.
Okay, yeah.
Like
That's
I'm
good,
not too sure,
but
but
That'll
it's
be all right.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect weather. Like in
Wear
between.
whatever
It's almost like what we have here right now.
right now.
Yeah. Which is basically winter.
Yeah.
It's
pretty
crazy.
much. I know.
That's why I'm like, oh fuck, is it gonna be cold?
We're pretty
Yeah.
blessed in Australia.
We
We
are.
are.
We are.
Yeah.
Dead
100%.
set.
Maybe not down south, like Melbourne and
No,
shit.
I
It gets
can't
pretty
do
fucking cold then.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
you go
I
too far
love-
up, it's too hot. We can't
See,
even.
I
like,
love
the
it.
good
I
spot.
love it.
Yeah.
Like Townsville, to me, that weather, I could live there
Yeah.
all year
I
round.
I do
Yeah.
love it too.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit much for you, but
The
Like
humidity.
up in
Yeah.
Cairns, yeah,
Yeah.
like that's a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
in Queensland alone, like that's
that's fine. It's like
Yeah.
perfect. Perfect. I
Yeah.
reckon.
Like Sunny Coast is pretty perfect.
yeah,
weather.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like a good
I mean,
temp.
we want to move to the Gold Coast.
We do.
in the
Yeah.
future.
When would you want to move to the Gold Coast?
I'm really not sure.
Like before you start a family?
That's
So you can
That's-
still live like party life there, or
yeah. It's like
and it's sort of influencing capital of Australia, right?
kind
I
of.
would-
I think Sydney is.
Sydney is
Sydney's
now.
Like
popping
I know
off.
a lot of brands are flying a lot of people out like to Sydney
Yeah.
for events and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's what would you say?
It's a bit half and half. Like we know like I would say most of the people we know
Yeah.
that aren't in Sydney are at the Gold Coast. Like there's a few in like Perth
It's definitely
and
manageable.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Like for whatever works. Like
Yeah.
and it's what, an hour 15 flight or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah, you
if
can
you
come
need to
back
go. Yeah,
anytime.
and
Yeah.
flights can be
within
so
a day.
cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think maybe we want to have kids down here so that we have help with our families.
Of course.
Grandkids.
Just
and,
Yeah.
with like sussing
grandparents.
out, oh my God, like being new parents and everything, like I
And
can
then hit the
expect.
Gold Coast
I
later
can
on.
expect it's going to be a
Later
little bit
on.
difficult, and then I
Maddie's
probably
a
want
bit
to.
sick, by the way, everyone. if you
Yeah,
hadn't
he's
Sorry
just
noticed.
guys.
coughing a lot.
Sorry guys. I'm trying my best.
Sorry, he's
here.
not coughing into the mic. It's okay.
Yes.
He's being respectful
Yeah.
of your ears
I am.
for anyone
Yeah.
listening right
Yes.
now in their car driving along.
I'm trying.
Absolutely.
I'm trying, guys.
No, you're doing well.
Thank you.
But yeah, I reckon before they like start school or something, we'll
Move up there.
move
Jeddah.
up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like a good. You'll be able to still get time then. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, because they'll be at
100%.
school fucking 5 days a week. And,
Yes,
Do whatever we want while they're
exactly.
at
And the
school.
schooling's good up there.
and who knows? You'll probably be rich as fuck by then, so you can just get a nanny anyway.
fingers crossed.
Let's hope.
Just Kardashian those little cunts.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
When did you guys meet? Tell me your story.
It was on Instagram, dead set, like
Yeah.
4 years ago now.
Yeah,
It was it COVID yet?
going
It was
into
going into COVID.
So 2020.
2020. Very early 2020.
So around the same time you started
Yes.
doing all this.
Yeah.
when
Crazy.
we met, I had a bigger following on TikTok
Than
than
me.
Madeline.
Wow.
And I was posting back in the day, like just random stupid stuff. Like
Yeah.
bored during COVID, I was posting the stupidest stuff.
Yeah.
Some stuff that I've had to take down now just in
I'm like, Matthew, that's problematic.
Yeah, well, I did something crazy during
That's
COVID. I
funny.
started a fucking podcast. So
Yeah,
true.
no, that's good.
No, but yeah, we met on Instagram, slid into those DMs.
And I was actually so rude to him.
were you like, get the
Yeah,
fuck away
because
from
I
me,
just got out
creep.
of like a really almost, but I was just so done with men at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
So you
about to
just
like
got out
start
of a
talking to a girl or
relationship?
something. I got out of a relationship with like this one person that I'm not gonna talk too much about,
Yeah,
but
that's
very
fine.
toxic.
Yeah.
On my mental. Like he wasn't a bad person. It was just like the mind games. And I think I was very young. Like I was 17. And he wasn't that much older than me, but definitely had it over me. And I just ended up feeling so shit. And I was just like in this rut. And it took me like 3 or 4 months to get out of. And I was like, I'm just not talking to another person until like I finish school. Like knowing that I was in year 12. I was just kind of like, I'm just going to complete school, not talk to anyone, like maybe talk to people. Like I'm not stopping that, but I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to commit to anything.
Yeah, or pursue anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just going to finish school and focus on that. Why would I think about that when I'm not academic and I don't give a fuck about school? I don't know. I was like, yeah, I'm just like, fuck, man. So I kind of just like cut that out. And then that's when Matt slid into my DMs and I was just like, yeah, no, like I was kind of just like, oh. Like, no. And he was a little eshay at the time too, let's just say.
Were you a little eshay?
Yeah.
Kind of.
A little bit.
It was,
Like a
It
little
was
bit.
just a group I was associated with,
Yeah. Kind of.
rubbing off.
That
It
you're
was
not
kinda-
associated with anymore?
No,
Okay.
no.
But yeah, no,
Well, you're just going around just like bashing old people for their TNs and shit.
Of course. What else to do?
What else to do? Penetration?
Yeah.
But yeah,
else?
I was just kind of like, I don't want to bar of it. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, like, I don't want to be another name under his belt or something like that. Like, I'm just, no, absolutely not. And the one message that like got me
Yeah.
was, oh, okay, well, I'd love to take you out for dinner, like as soon as you're ready to jump back into the scene.
Oh, what a
And I was like,
sweetheart.
fuck, well, you've done it now.
Yeah.
Like, you've done it now. I have to go out for like dinner with you or something. But then fast forward, we couldn't even do anything.
Yeah, because we weren't really allowed
'Cause
to
we
leave our
couldn't-
house.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
COVID
because the
and all
government are a bunch of tyrannical dictators.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
That
guys feel.
one.
I know
Yeah.
That one.
we have very
Yeah, we
similar
have very
opinions on this.
similar.
I don't know if you'd probably want to stay out of it so you don't get cancelled.
Yeah.
But
I just stay back here.
but I don't care about getting cancelled. Uncancelable.
Yes.
Speak free, mother.
Speak free, motherfucker. Joe Rogan calls it the escape theory. When you escape
Okay.
any chance of being cancelled because you're just so big that nothing can stop you.
That's
like
Joe
that.
His
Rogan.
opinion.
I like that.
And he said, I've completed
He
the escape
has.
theory.
100% he has.
And remember the craziness that came with him, like during COVID? It was crazy. Just like it was a coordinated attempt to shut him down.
100%.
And it didn't work. It made him bigger.
No. Yeah.
So suck shit, CNN, you
Yeah.
fucking idiots.
Now he's the biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, literally like 12 million listeners a week. That's fucking mental.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't
Stupid.
even comprehend that
Oh,
Nah.
me neither.
at all.
I get like fucking 1,000 views and I'm like, whoa, holy shit. Get noticed by like one person outside Suncorp
Yes.
Stadium. I'm like, I fucking made it.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
mad.
cute.
No, crazy. But yeah, so okay, so you met in 2020 and then
Yep.
spent obviously a lot of time just chilling, probably, hey,
Yeah.
because there was
Yeah.
fucking nothing else to do.
Yeah.
For such a long
Our
time.
first date, we did the Riverwalk in Penrith. So
Oh, beautiful.
You know the like
yeah.
one designated person that you could like go for a walk with?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up being Matthew.
Yeah.
And we were just like, yeah, like we've been dating for ages. Like Matt's like, if we get caught by the cops, like we've been dating for 2 years and you live at my house. And blah, blah, blah.
You know what? I never worried about any of that shit once.
nah.
Eh?
Well,
I was
we did
terrified.
get
Really?
we were sitting at a lookout that night, and
I forgot about this.
a cop came up to the car and he's like, "You've got to go, mate. Like you can't be here." I was like, "We're just sitting here in a car."
If no one... Okay, hold up for a second.
Matt, he's like, give me a second to talk.
Everyone, if you didn't hear that, just fucking rewind back and listen to what that... Does that sound like a fucking movie to you? Because that was real life, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That was real life in this fucking shit country. Sorry, I love Australia, but the
I love
government can get
Australia.
fucked.
Yeah, 100%.
What world were we living in where two people could not sit in a car at a fucking lookout?
Yeah.
What fucking threat to public health was that? If you were one of the people who were like, fucking lock them up, fucking they're breaking the rules, you're a dumb cunt. You're an actual dumb cunt.
100%.
Like 100%. You're an actual fucking imbecile, and you're the problem. You are the problem. 100%. You're the problem. It was like going for, bro. Do you remember that day when everyone was like out in Bondi, going for a walk like along the beach and that?
Yeah.
Now I will say, people did have a fair point in saying there was double standards for people in Bondi compared to people in like Penrith and Blacktown and blah blah, blah
Yep.
which there were. People of the West were unfairly targeted. 100 fucking percent that happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, there is no problem with people walking in sunshine and fresh air by the beach, going for a walk. That's no threat to fucking public health, right?
Yeah.
I
Like,
guess they just like would they have known that at the time though?
that there was no
Who
threat.
knows?
100% they knew.
Like,
There was multiple
Yeah.
reports that
'Cause
there
the
was
amount
no
of people-
evidence of transmission outdoors.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I just look back on it and to this day, I'm like, as if that just happened and no one's talking about it.
I know. I said that recently in a reel.
As
I
if
was
that
like,
just happened.
the world has just like moved on.
Moved
Yeah.
on, like
And it's
nothing
like-
ever
And
happened.
I think it's also something we don't want to dwell on either, because it was such a tough time for
But,
everyone,
yeah.
for so many people.
I
that,
always
like,
bring conversation back to it, because I just
Yeah.
need to remind people what fucking
what
craziness.
happened? That was crazy. It was crazy. The
was
world
crazy.
shut down. Like,
Yeah. It was, and
Nuts.
we're paying for it now.
Yeah,
And we're paying for it now with
100%.
the fucking inflation, and the economy
Yeah.
is fucking shot to shit. People don't have money. Everything's
No.
going up in price. Everything's
paycheck to
unaffordable.
paycheck.
Yeah,
literally.
literally.
Yeah.
Living
Literally.
paycheck to paycheck.
People I knew that were doing well, like prior to COVID and during COVID, and now living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
They're still on the same salary,
Yeah.
but like that's
It's
crazy.
not enough.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about fucking COVID. I don't want to turn into a COVID pod. We don't need Madeline getting cancelled. all right?
No, that's okay,
no.
yeah.
We're here to protect you.
Yes.
Those are my opinions and my opinions only. Just want to put that out there. Well, not really opinions. What's the other word
Facts.
for it? Yeah, facts. The truth. The truth.
Truth hurts, guys.
I always say that. I was like, I'm really into conspiracy theory. Oh, sorry, not conspiracy theories. What's the other word?
I
the truth. The truth.
I love conspiracy
truth,
theories.
yeah.
I love a good
I'll watch
conspiracy.
them
Yeah.
all day.
Same.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth is about 6 months. So
Pretty much.
that's all it takes.
It's not.
And
It's
the
a
truth
fine
comes
line. Yeah.
And so how long were you dating for before you decided I want to marry this girl?
It was about like 3 months, and I remember talking to my mum. I wanted to propose like on our 3 months, and my mum's like, "Oh,
Give it a
maybe just can't." Like, this is my first proper relationship, and my mum was like, "Just calm down. Like, yeah, obviously, like head over heels and stuff, but just give it a bit longer." And then it ended up being a year. I proposed on our year.
That's
dating.
so
Anniversary.
soon.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Was there ever a moment with either of you where you went, is this moving too fast?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think if I was looking at it from an outside perspective, I was like, maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
If you look at it like that, I
Like-
knew there was so many people saying like, Jesus.
I mean,
like,
we
calm
heard it from everyone anyway.
Yeah.
So it was just like, it was hard not to think about. Like, of course, it was a consideration.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just like, like it's life.
Yeah.
Like if it fucks up or something, like
Exactly.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like we want to do this now, and we're gonna
Exactly.
do this now.
And-
And if anyone disagrees, like,
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
oh well,
Literally.
Yeah.
go cry about it.
And that's true. And the thing is, right, like, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. 100% I'm all for it. Like,
I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I literally wouldn't change
I'm
a
only
thing.
asking that question is because a lot of people would feel that way,
Oh,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm all for it. The thing is, right, I think when you realize how fickle life can be and how quickly things can be taken away, I think if you have an opportunity to do something that you want to do, just fucking do it.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it 100%.
And that's kind of like what happened. We spoke about
100%.
it and dreamed about it, and we were like, yeah, we want to have that traditional lifestyle of getting married, getting a house, like
Yeah.
buying a house, having kids.
And you've bought a house. Congratulations.
house.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Massive
Yeah, thank
achievement.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
But like, we've been married, we've gotten our house, we can have kids whenever
Yeah.
we want now because we feel set up. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that this is what other people have to do. This was our
Our
dream.
plan.
Like, this
Yes.
is what we wanted
Yeah.
to do.
And I'm all for those
We made it
traditional
work.
values too. I think
Yeah.
that's the order in which things should happen.
That's how we
Most
thought
of the
for ourselves
time,
too.
yeah.
So
But
it's
that's
just like,
personal for me.
Yeah.
Whatever anyone else wants to do, fucking go for it. Go for your
Abs-
lives.
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Like,
And
All for it.
you both have a relationship with God,
yes.
obviously as well.
Yeah.
You're both
Yes.
religious. You
Yes.
came from religious households, or was that
Yeah.
more a personal thing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
both.
religious
Households.
households. I think I went through a rough patch after losing mum. So I kind of like stepped away from the church because I was like, for some reason, angry at God. Like, I was a 13-year-old girl. And I was just like,
I didn't even know. Sorry.
fuck you. Like, thank you. It's like, I didn't know who to be angry at. I was just like, I need a second to like step away, come back to the church later if that's what it is. And I've found my faith with God again, and it's really beautiful and it's very personal, and I won't Bible bash and like tell people to
Yeah.
pray and whatever. That's my personal relationship with God.
Yeah.
And Matthew would have his.
Yeah.
But we brought that together within our marriage and as a couple, and made it work. And it's really a really nice thing
100%.
to have and to share.
Yeah.
So
100%.
And when you do go through moments of intense grief, especially where something has been taken from you, and especially if you are religious and you believe in afterlife and you believe that God, it is God's doing of what happens, to some extent, anyway, especially with people that you're close to that pass away, it does test your faith probably more than anything else does, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I blame that ignorance on my age as well. It's just like I didn't really have anyone supporting me, and like
But also
my
it's
dad
grief,
kind of
right?
yeah.
It's just grief.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you go through all sorts of things, and you really push to the limits. But like Dad we were living back at Rouse Hill, and then like Upton moved to be closer to his family, and I don't know if that was the best thing for us, like at the time. But I look back on it and I know why he had to do that.
Yeah.
And I respect it a lot.
So where did you move to from Rouse?
Blue Mountains.
Blue Mountains. So that's where his whole
So
family
very
is it?
very different worlds.
Yeah.
For me anyway, it was a huge shift. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why am I in the middle of the bush? And like, why can I not like just go to the shops 10 minutes away? Why is Penrith Plaza like half an hour away?
Yeah.
But it was fine and we got used to it. And
Do you have
I
a close
needed-
relationship with your dad?
yes.
Yeah, super
I love
close.
my dad.
Yeah.
I love my dad so
And
much.
how many siblings do you have?
I have 2 sisters.
Are they younger than you?
Yes.
Oh, they're both
So
younger.
I'm the
so you're
eldest of 3. Yeah.
So that's another weight you had to carry as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
almost a
A
mother
mother,
figure
yes.
in the house, and also trying to like
And
as I
such
get
a young age to lose your mum as well.
yes, correct.
And it's also not just a young age, but a pinnacle age as well.
yes,
For a girl.
Because you're
as
becoming a
well,
woman
Yeah.
at that time. That's like the most, I couldn't even imagine.
it was
Very
very very weird time. Thank you, but I love my family and they're beautiful, and Dad did a really good job. To be fair, like I love him to bits. I
Yeah.
don't know what else to say. Like he's just a good guy. Like
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with that came a lot, and I needed those people in my life. Like once I moved and went to Winmalee High, all those girls there, like everyone just embraced me, and like I had a lot of other girls that had lost their dads, and it was just like someone to
Like a
relate to,
support
and
network.
like yeah, absolutely. And I feel like the Hills District was good to get out of, because I was going to like private school at the time, and it was very materialistic and like kids with money, and I was just like, it's not that I didn't have that, it's just like it was too much. Like it wasn't my focus, it wasn't my priority. I was still grieving. I was
Exactly.
like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So
And
moving
that's
to the
a long
mountains,
process
and all the
as
kids
well.
were just grounded and beautiful, and like took me on, and like I still have a lot of those friendships to this day. And yeah, no, so much respect for my dad.
Yeah.
He did a good job.
Yeah. And that's awesome. I mean, not awesome
Thank you.
story, but awesome outcome out of it.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't.
100%.
I say
Very
this
sad
to Matt a lot.
circumstances.
But it's like I would not be the person I am today
If it didn't happen.
if
Yeah.
that didn't happen. And it's just like that's where I turned back to God.
Yes.
And it's like, look, that was a really shitty thing, but I would not be the person I am today without it.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of personal growth and strength that came from that, and makes me the person I am for Matthew as well, as a wife
Yes.
and as a carer and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So
Well, I guess
Yeah.
because you did get thrown into that sort of nurture role at a very
Right
young
away.
age.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
you've probably been ready for marriage since you were like 14.
So long.
Yeah.
So long. I mean, it was
Yeah.
already a dream beforehand, like when I was younger, but even like more so growing up, I'm like, yeah, I'm just ready to settle. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not putting the partying down. Like I'm still happy to go out and have a good time with Matt or whatever, or my girlfriends. But it's still just like, oh my God, like I'm ready to settle. I'm ready to be a wife.
Yeah.
Like, let me be a wife.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And kids,
Yes.
how far down the track do you want to start a family? You want to live for a bit, don't you?
Yes,
do.
we
We
do.
I say that like you can't live with kids, but I mean, you can't.
I mean, they take up all of your time.
Your whole
I'm
life.
not going to wait too
Yeah.
much time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Your whole life.
yeah.
Mm.
I love being an uncle.
Yeah.
I love being a godfather.
Yep.
Yeah.
I give those fuckers back at the end of the day.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, I love
Yeah.
them. I love them to death, but yeah, it's so much work. Obviously,
It is,
it's very
it is.
fulfilling too. There's a lot of good that comes with it,
100%.
but for me, it's like I'm just too. I don't know. I'm too focused.
And I feel like
on
it's very
doing my own
different not that I know, but it's so different having your own kids because your tolerance levels are so much like higher for your own kids and your own blood.
Yes.
But like if it's someone else's kids and, you know, different parenting and all of that, it's like, okay, like time for you to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Time to go. Thank you. But
that's
see
true.
ya.
It probably would be different if it was.
It's so different when it's your
it
own
would
kids,
be.
I feel.
Yeah, it would be.
But yeah, I wouldn't know personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just seen that,
Just,
heard that.
Yeah. At this stage of my life, but I don't have like a want for it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's fair.
but it will
And you
come.
don't have to.
It
But like,
will come.
Yeah.
I think it will come.
But
for
I
sure.
think it's
Once
just like
you
we're
meet
still
the right person as well,
Yeah.
like you'll know straight away. You'll be like, yeah,
I think
want
that's a
kids.
big part. Yeah.
But I also think as well, like, okay, we're married now. Like, there's no rush to have kids.
Has there been pressure on you from?
Yeah,
People
like
around
almost as soon as we got married, it
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
It's
oh,
like
so when are the kids
sly.
coming?
Yeah.
And I'm like, ugh, we just got married. Like, get off my dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we
Please.
just live for it a
Please.
little?
Like, yeah, we were pretty fast in that respect, but like,
Now we can slow it
Yeah.
down.
okay, this is
yeah.
where we're slowing down and like enjoying it.
Yeah.
And you know,
And you want to travel probably.
Travel,
got a
that's,
bucket list,
that's the
yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. We've got so much trouble. Like we want to do. Definitely get that done first.
yes,
And
Yeah.
then
and out of the
It's
way.
so much easier to travel without fucking kids.
100%.
Yeah.
It's cheaper.
100%. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah,
And
No,
it would
that's
be nice to concede in a. Is it conceive? Conceive in
Conceive.
another country.
yes.
Ooh. Which country?
Anywhere.
Depends.
I mean,
yeah,
like
it doesn't
Paris.
matter.
something like
City of Love.
like Europe.
I reckon something like hot, somewhere hot, like Greece or Italy.
Yeah,
or
like Greece would
something
be
I
cool.
like
Imagine being like, yeah, you were
Cancun.
like
Mexico.
you were conceived in like Mykonos, darling. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
how
that'd
fucked
be
is that?
sick.
But like so cool. I remember having this conversation with like my friends at school, and one of my mates was like, "Oh yeah, like I asked my parents, and I was conceived in a tent." And I was like, "That's so random. It's so cool, darling."
That's fucking intense.
Yeah, I know.
Get it?
Intense.
But yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that you guys have like a set plan. You know what you want
We
to set out to
definitely
do.
To
do.
some
Yeah.
extent, yeah.
And Maddie, I will obviously touch on your influencer history as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
You've done a bit of modeling
Yeah.
for some brands.
Yep.
Showing off some clothes and whatnot.
Yep.
Is that something that like you're aiming this year to do a lot more of? Or?
Yeah, I like this year's been very busy, like just with the roofing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
A few other
Well,
things.
that's good. That's
Thank
yeah,
goodness,
it is a good
yeah.
thing. When I do have those opportunities, if they do come, like I will definitely take it on, like more often than not. I'm never going to turn down stuff unless it's clothes I really don't like. But I would like to do a lot more of it. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has so much potential. That's why I'm kind of like
What, do you remember on the
pushing it.
boat? Do you remember what I
Yeah.
said on the boat?
You're like,
I was like, you should model, cunt. You're fucking heaps
You're
good
like,
looking.
yeah.
I was
you're
like,
are you
yeah,
famous?
can you like tell him
Yeah,
that?
I was like, he has a
yeah.
famous face.
Oh my
face.
god.
So he has a famous face.
I
Because
literally
when I
forgot
first
about
saw
that.
you, I will be honest here. I've told Maddie this. I don't know if he's ever told you. But when I first saw you, did you ever tell
Oh
her?
yes.
I think so.
I
was
thought I was a
like-
bitch.
I was
a
like,
mega bitch.
yeah.
I was like,
I
yeah.
saw you walking on the boat. And I thought, fucking hell. I reckon they're cunts.
Look at these
Yeah.
two.
I reckon
Look at
these
these
two
two.
cunts.
I mean,
Oh,
valid.
boy.
No,
Yeah.
but I told
Valid.
Matt, I was like, that's my own judgmental side coming out because
Yeah.
then when we had a conversation, we were talking for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Ages.
these are the nicest fucking people ever. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I think I followed you both that same day.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
got home or whatever. And I was like, these are so, I fucking love these
Yeah.
cunts. dude.
That's
Mad.
so cute.
mad.
Oh, I love that day so much.
Yeah, that was good.
And we just like clicked.
We did click,
instantly.
100%.
Like we just sat and like blah blah blah. You were like supposed to be taking
I know,
photos and shit.
I know.
And I'm like, oh my god, no,
Get to
please
work,
stay.
man.
I know.
Sit
Luckily, it
and
wasn't an
talk.
easy gig to take photos because everyone wants
Yeah.
photos on the harbour. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
100%.
I did a gig
100%.
on Anzac Day, just passed.
I
Oh,
saw
yeah. For
that.
anyone who doesn't know, this is coming out in like a month, but we are filming on the 27th of April. But did a gig, and oh my God, I don't know if it was just the crowd. Like, obviously, it had fun, still got a lot of photos, great photos. A lot of people were good. But some people, it's like when you put a camera in their face,
They freak the fuck out.
and not
Yeah.
just freak the fuck out, but get rude about it.
yeah.
They're like,
That's so
no.
weird.
They're like, get away. like,
Oh my
Jesus,
god.
I'm just
what?
here to fucking work, bro.
Yeah, literally.
You just say no.
You can, yeah, literally.
Yeah,
all
but
it
it makes it
takes.
hard for me too. Like there was a lot of people who were just like, no
Yeah.
thanks, no thanks.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking who no one
Kills your vibe as well.
It does, yeah,
Yeah.
because people aren't like fucking with what you're doing. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
So it's like, yeah, it's hard to keep like energetic about it.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
it still had a good gig, and
Yeah,
the photos are
that's good.
great. And
Yeah, I saw them. They look good.
yeah, thank you.
That's all right.
Thank you, brother.
That's all right, mate.
Your roofs look great.
Thanks, mate. Always.
We're just gonna
always.
keep talking each other up for the next.
I think so. Mate.
Am I witnessing a bit of flirting?
Now, I do like to sort of end my podcast with advice, a piece of advice you want to give anyone watching out there.
Yeah.
To anyone who wants to break into the influencer game, right? And then we'll also talk about marriage as well. So
Yeah.
we'll start
Okay.
with that.
Yeah.
But anyone who wants to break into the influencer game, any young females out there or young males, whatever, what would be your advice to them?
I feel like my advice would be to just like do it, because I feel like a lot of younger girls do ask me, and it's just like, oh, do you have any advice and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, literally just do what you want to do. Like, don't pretend to try and be like one of these influencers that you already follow. They're already doing their own thing. Just like do what you want to do. Show your personality. Like, that's the least you can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just start posting. And if it's about like kids making fun of you, like, fuck them. Like, why on earth would you care? Like, I know it can be a hard thing and it's easier said than done, but like, just do it. Like, don't stop.
100%.
Don't stop there. Yeah, don't do it. Don't stop because of other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's
Just be
all
yourself.
yeah, just be yourself.
100%.
Literally.
And actually, I will just ask this as well. Do you think in the influencer space as a whole that authenticity is missing?
Sometimes I catch myself like slipping with that. And then I'll post a stupid video actually like being myself, and then it will pop off and I'm like, oh, that's what I was missing for a while. Like, why did I stop? Like, it's easy to get caught up. But there can be. It
And
can
is
be
it
like,
because you're constantly comparing yourself to
I
other
think
people?
so, yeah.
And you want to be, they say they've hit 1 million views on that
Yeah.
video. You're like, okay, I mean,
I need to be
start-
more like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, I'll never like change myself to do anything, but it's just sometimes like the originality just like isn't there. It's still me, but it's just like, oh, why am I not just doing my shit? Like, like it's hard to explain.
No, I get that. Part.
But I feel like my viewers personally can see when there's like a shift or something, or it's just like, oh, this is just like the last 5 videos that I saw on my For You page.
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
get
know
that.
how to explain that. That's really hard.
No, I get that, but because I like to pride myself on my authenticity as well.
Absolutely.
But there's also times where I'll look at other podcasts and sort of what's blowing up for them.
Yeah.
And I'll almost like, not that I'll think about it before I film, but I'll find moments in that will like be similar to that sort of that video.
So that
or
you can cut that snippet or something.
Just cut that
Yes.
snippet, post that. I'm like, that might pop off.
Yeah.
But I found that some of my best ones are just when I'm just real and I'm just doing exactly, being exactly me, having my own opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, so I think authenticity, while it may be missing, doesn't mean people should remove. It's a very good tool to have.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Especially because then people are fucking with you for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
And you don't
Absolutely.
have to try
Yeah.
to be anything else.
now, I also want to ask you both to give advice to any young couples out there who also want to get married young and do what you guys have done. What would be your advice to them?
Oh, far out. What would
Every couple's different.
every couple is different?
Yeah, it just depends on what they're trying to like. Do you mean like get married and
Yeah,
stuff?
get
Like,
married,
Just
buy a house
have
together.
fun. Just have fun.
Yeah, have fun with it. Keep dating.
Yeah, keep dating.
Keep dating even after like marriage and all of that. Like, if people are telling you not to do it, like, think about it. Like, consider it. And
don't
if you
be
disagree
lazy.
with it, like, just be self-aware.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we had to really do that for ourselves to be like, okay, like, not are we doing the right thing, but like, okay, why would people be saying this? Like, surely there's some truth behind it, or, some sort of concern. Like, some people that are close to us, it would be out of love. But yeah, I think if you think it's really right and that's your person, like, absolutely do it.
Yeah.
Like, go for it.
Just gotta
Why
keep
would you not?
working.
Again, if it doesn't work out, then big whoop. Like,
It's what you wanted.
it's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, just work hard because it does take a lot of work.
There's a lot of
like, keeping
maintenance. A lot of
a
maintenance. So just
relationship
be
going.
be
So
ready for it.
yeah.
And talk about shit before going ahead with things. You need to make sure that your morals and beliefs are in line, because that can be a huge thing later on down the track too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I suppose if it feels right.
Yeah,
If it feels right. If you know, you know.
do it.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
That's what we said.
And go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for both coming in and
course. Thank you for
speaking free
having
with Matty G.
us.
You're both
Thank
welcome
you.
back anytime.
Thank you.
Thank
And remember, guys, speak free with Matty G.